Oh boy, that's good. Hello, and a warm welcome back to another week on my plot. I've got one job up here today, and that involves some bare root fruit trees I bought from B&M. Every January, the store that we don't use a great deal. It's one of those sort of cheapy shops. Serves its purpose, and good luck to them. But we don't particularly use it. But I do know in January they sell bare root fruit trees. Now, they are not good quality. There's very little root system on them. You get what you pay for in life. I've bought 4 of them for 24 quid. So if I lose all of them, it's not the end of the world. Except if my wife finds out, then it might be. So yeah, I'm going to turn those trees into Stepover trees, with a view to either where we're moving this spring, or if it doesn't happen, they're going to go down the edge of this main path on the plot. So I'm going to have to grab the nettle, bite the bullet, I can't think of any more cliches, and lop them at a particular height with a view to encouraging side shoots that will then turn into the horizontal branches of the Stepover fruit trees. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I do like that kind of experiment. I'm not, not wasting a lot of money if it fails, but it's a chance to give these things a go. So welcome to my plot. Thanks to all those who've subscribed, are viewing now, and do please give me a thumbs up if you can, or a thumbs down. They're all equally valid. So you're very welcome. Well, here are the 4 fruit trees. There's 2 Jonah Gold apple trees. I've already got a Jonah Gold. They're a lovely, sweet, delicious apple. There's a conference pear, and there's a Cox's orange pippin, which is this one on the end. And they're all a different shape and form. This one here, which is the pear, actually it's already leaning, so I'm not going to chop that one. That one, when I put it in its final resting place, I will just bend down and it can run horizontally along whatever I train it on, probably a bamboo. But these other 3 I'm going to lop. And now I'm no expert, but as usual I've done a little bit of research on YouTube, and you can see along the length there are bud points all the way up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it above one of those buds, and the theory is that one bud in the spring will sprout this way and the lower one will sprout that way, and then I can train them in. That's the theory. Like I say, if it doesn't work, I've wasted 24 quid. And this one, like I said, I'll bend down. What I will do is, in fact I'll probably do it today, I'll just nip off those leaders, and what'll happen then is because I take off the top sort of third, it'll force sprouting along the trunk, which I can then cut back, and that will create the points at which the fruit will grow. So it all sounds good in theory, so let's get the loppers out. For better or for worse, they are now chopped off, and I will update you if there's any signs in the spring of new growth. If not, you'll see me chuck them on the compost heap. And like I said, this one I'm leaving because it'll bend down. I think with this one I've been a little bit over generous with the length. I need to bring that down a bit, but for now that'll do. I don't know about you, but every day I walk past this gooseberry plant, which has been completely thwarted by this dock, and I ignore it. All summer I did it, and I just assumed it had killed the gooseberry, but there are signs of life there. So I've decided it's just one of those jobs. You look at it as you walk past, you think, oh, I'll do it some other time. But I've got nothing else to do up here today. I'm just sitting by the fire reading How Not to Die, enjoying being here, but it's playing on my mind. So I'm going to grab my spade, dig it up and try and separate the gooseberry from the dock. Well, I've had to be fairly brutal, and I've lost a lot of the roots off the gooseberry, but that is now completely dock free, so I'm going to replant it, and it's got 2 oaks, and I've noticed on one of the tips it's obviously touched the soil and it's rooted, so I'm going to nip that off, put it in a pot and hopefully create a new gooseberry bush. So we see. It's got 2 chances, hasn't it? It lives or dies. Well, it looks a bit insignificant now, but that's the little gooseberry sucker planted up, and we'll see what happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I forgot to mention in the intro that the storm we had this week completely missed us. We had a very breezy day, absolutely nothing exceptional. We've got another one tomorrow. But I know from the press, who completely overreacted as usual, that it was quite bad in Northern Ireland and Scotland. And I do know that I've got a couple of subscribers, certainly in Northern Ireland, so I hope everybody in those parts of the country are okay and that their gardens and allotments survived intact. So yeah, we were lucky. Unusually here, we managed to miss most of it. My son and his partner Nikki last year, they went to Yellowstone National Park in America, a place I would love to visit, but not when the supervolcano goes off. But yeah, I'd love to go there. But they had a wonderful time there, and the photographs are, memorable, and yeah, a lovely time. But they were in a visitor centre, and he was walking down the corridor, and there was a couple of photographs of bison on the wall, and underneath was some text. So he stopped and he paused to read it, and he was fascinated by what it said. And what it said essentially was, that these geysers in that Yellowstone is famous for, they emit fluoride, and the fluoride works its way into the grass. And the cattle are obviously grazing, the bison that live around the geysers, they graze on this grass. The bison that live around the geysers, because they're eating grass containing fluoride, have a life expectancy half that of the bison that live away from the geysers, who aren't eating fluoride. And it said in the text, because of course fluoride is extremely bad for teeth. It makes teeth go soft, and so their teeth wear down at twice the rate of those that don't live around the geysers. And of course, once their teeth have gone, they can't graze. They can't graze, you starve and you're dead. And he was taken aback by that. He thought, wow, they've actually written that. So it is with humans. Everyone assumes that fluoride is extremely good for teeth. It blimmin' isn't. When I first started down this health research road, the thing that put me onto it was the statement in a documentary that milk destroys our bones. All dairy, meat products destroy our bones because they're acidic. And I thought, no, that's not true. Milk builds strong bones. They encourage children to drink milk. Well, of course they do. The milk industry does, so that they can make a profit. And it's the exact opposite. The highest consumers of dairy are those nations with the highest rates of osteoporosis. And so it is with fluoride. Fluoride, here's the bottom line. You'll be shocked to hear this. If you've got a young child and you're concerned about their teeth, we are not meant to clean our teeth. It's ridiculous, isn't it? As if nature got it wrong when it comes to teeth. You don't need to clean your teeth. What you need to do is make sure that children avoid processed sugar. Everything they consume, from tomato sauce to Coca-Cola to processed food, it's absolutely swimming in sugar. We're not evolved and designed to consume that level of sugar. Orange juice, just about as bad as it gets. Far more sugar in orange juice than Coca-Cola. Anyway, so if you don't want your children to rot their teeth, just deny them sugar or limit it. That's the way to protect teeth, not fluoride. Anyway, here's a couple of interesting facts. The added fluoride in water is hexafluorosilicic acid, an industrial waste product from the phosphate fertilizer industry. It is not pharmaceutical grade, unlike that in toothpaste. So when they fluoridate your water, they're putting an industrial waste product in. It's fascinating because thankfully in the UK, the only area of the UK that has fluoridated water right now is the Birmingham area. If you live anywhere outside the Birmingham area, your water is not fluoridated, thankfully. However, this government, they're being lobbied again by the fertiliser industry to get, because obviously the fertiliser industry has this waste product. It costs them to get rid of it. If you can put it in people's drinking water, all of a sudden it becomes an asset in making money. It is contaminated with heavy metals, cancer-causing substances such as arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury, silica, aluminium and vanadium. In America, there is a 5-fold increase in bone cancer in teenage boys living in fluoridated areas. Studies have shown many health issues from fluoridation. Dental fluorosis. Dental fluorosis is if you look at people's teeth, you can see they've gone grey. That's overexposure to fluoride. Dental fluorosis, osteoporosis, depression, hypothyroidism, IBS, ADHD and others. Over 400 studies have shown worldwide a reduced IQ in humans and other animals exposed to drinking water that's been fluoridated. And on it goes. It's a card full of facts about the harms of fluoride. But just like my son David, I was fascinated to see that they'd actually put that on a board when the government is telling us, fluoride is really good for us. It's absolute nonsense. Anyway, if you've got any thoughts on it, I'd love to hear them, whether you agree with me or not. But if we were exposed to fluoride in the drinking water again, bearing in mind that contravenes Article 1 of the Nuremberg Code, that you must agree and consent to being medicated. And when you stick fluoride in drinking water, you are medicating people with or without their consent. And of course it's cumulative. Nobody knows how much you're getting because no one knows how much water you drink. If they introduced it into our drinking water, we would buy filters, which you can get easily, that would extract the fluoride and the heavy metals concerned with it, to keep our drinking water safe. I'm not going anywhere near fluoride. For many years now, we've had fluoride-free toothpaste. There's absolutely no reason to be going anywhere near fluoride. Not the stuff that man introduces anyway. Anyway, I thought that was mildly interesting. Poor old Bison. Here's another apple, a cooking apple that I'm growing as a stepover. And again, it was a very young sapling, so I've just bent it. And it's doing alright, it's working along this bamboo cane as a support. But you notice it's just a single stem. There are no shoots coming off it with which to produce fruit. So the way to do that, again, is reduce the length of it. Although you want it to go all the way along this bamboo cane, it's no good getting to the end and not producing fruit. So again, reduce the length by about a third, making sure the clipping goes into the middle of the bed so you can't recover it without stepping on it. That should, in the spring, now promote side shoots which you can prune back to create fruit-bearing spurs and produce a productive apple. All that talk of Bison's teeth was a bit serious, so let's lighten the mood. The Bible is available in 2,426 languages. More than 40% of the world's Catholics live in South America. Pope John XII was killed by a jealous husband in the act of committing adultery. Do as I say, not as I do. Good old Catholic Church. 5 of the last 8 popes died in years when Wales won the Six Nations rugby tournament. I'm not sure there's a link. In the Quran, Jesus is mentioned 5 times more than Muhammad. Earthworms have 5 hearts. Only 5 in 1,000 seahorses survive to adulthood. Herbert Spencer, who coined the phrase survival of the fittest, was the only one of 8 siblings to reach adulthood. Centenarians are the fastest growing demographic in the UK. Henry Ford could still do handstands at the age of 75. That's remarkable. Basketball, racquetball, volleyball and Father's Day all began in a YMCA. You don't get this on any other channel, do you? More phone calls are made on Mother's Day than on any other day. More reverse charge phone calls are made on Father's Day than on any other day. I love that. Don't get any ideas, kids. Male ants do not have fathers. A queen ant can fertilise her eggs with sperm she's stored for 30 years. Bees are just vegetarian wasps. Bees turn nectar into honey by regurgitating it into the mouths of other bees. Astronauts at the International Space Station witness 16 sunrises and sunsets every 24 hours. The pumping station at Cricklewood was used as the location for the engine room in the film Titanic. The first ever international cricket tour had to be postponed due to the French Revolution. The first ever air conditioning system was installed in the Houses of Commons. And we'll finish on a cultural high. The first ever actress to appear naked in a film was called Louise Willy. I love them. I absolutely love them. Good old Louise Willie. She forged a path. Well, the first thing to say is it's not even lunchtime and I'm going home. The rain has come in hard and sideways, driven in by foul winds. So I'm going to go home and sit in the dry and do whatever my wife tells me to do, which is the usual situation. Thank you to all of you who watch my videos. I don't say it enough. Those of you who have subscribed and follow my channel, I do appreciate every single one of you. I won't be here for 2 weeks now. I shall be back in a fortnight. We've got babysitter duties next weekend. On the house front, there's no news at the moment. It's all with solicitors and mortgage lenders, etc. But when I have some news, good or bad, I will let you know. Yeah, there's no more to be said on that, really. I'm following Charles Dowding's calendar for sowings this year, so he does nothing in January and very little in February. And if he does anything at the latter part of February, it's indoors. So I'm sticking with that. It's just so foul at the moment, so many storms. I think, you know, patience may just be a virtue in some cases. I remain to be convinced. So, thank you very much for joining me. I will be back in a fortnight. Until then, I hope your own gardens and allotments are fulfilling your ambitions. And until I see you again, look after yourselves, take care, bye for now.